reasons to live in your vehicle. It's another reset. I love this. Well, I got a hotel room in Hippie Town. It's an artist hotel, Hotel McCoy. There's drawings, paintings everywhere. The lobby's pretty darn cool too. And cool people work there. So it's nice to have a reset. Washed my hair, got my feet clean. Oh my gosh, soaked up. I'll probably take about 3 more baths before I'm over, before I check out, but it's really nice. I was thinking for any of you out there that can't, here, let me turn this off. Here we go. Powering up. Had the TV going. Of course, on TV they have Project Runway. I'm really into the Project Runway thing, yeah. Well, I was thinking for those who maybe don't have enough money to get a nice hotel room, at least every once in a while, we should start a fund on our Facebook group. Minivan Leads This Nomad Life, and start a Facebook group, and everybody can put in for a fund. Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? One of the reasons I want to come, I needed a reset. I woke up this morning, I said, oh wow, I need something different. And I looked at one of my Jackeries, and it's at 0. For some reason, the solar panel isn't working well on my roof, so I may just have to break down and replace it. But I was at 0. And it's not so much that it's so hot, but in my minivan, if I stay in the sun for too long, and when I'm in the city, I like to close my doors and my windows, it gets up to like 85, 90 degrees inside. So I have to get in the shade, which means I'm not getting as much sun. Yeah. Okay, well, the 5 top reasons for living in your vehicle, whether it be a van, a car, high top, Class C, schoolie bus. Really, number 1 is minimalism. There is a movement for people to live a minimal life. I think it's pretty darn cool. And they just don't want to own so much stuff. They're overwhelmed by all the stuff that they own. And they feel that if they move into their vehicle, they can get rid of everything. And they just live, it's quite the minimal life. It really is. When I bring something new into my minivan, I have to really decide what's going to go. I can't keep bringing new things in. I have to move things out. So, yeah, it's a minimal life for sure. Somebody asked me where I got these really soft, that real soft fleece, poofy. It's almost like fur. It's Walmart. Walmart, of course, it's from Walmart. Yeah. So minimalism. I'll tell you, when I first became a nomad, everything moved off my shoulders. I felt this weight just lift off my shoulders. It was a wonderful feeling. And I really thought, this is minimal living. 1 plate, 1 spoon, 1 knife, 1 fork. I have a couple of thermos cups. Yeah. Just recently, it was always I didn't get rid of it, but in my regular dish drawer, I had this spatula. I mean, when I use it maybe twice a year, almost threw it out, but then I thought, well, no, I'll stick it in my overflow bin. I thought, well, I'll just put it in here. And I'll just keep it in here if I can remember that it's in there. But yeah, I'll keep that in there. And just when I need it, usually it's for boondocking. Because if I'm going to flip something else, I did use it to flip my my toasted cheese sandwich. But you know, a lot of times with something like that, you can flip it with a fork or a knife, yeah. So I keep everything to a minimum. If I'm going to carry any extra things, I like to carry extra food and water. Those are the two mainstays that I like to keep extra of. And so I do carry a little bit more food than what I would eat, just in case I have to what I say, get out of Dodge real quick. I gotta get out of the city or get out wherever and go somewhere and hide out if some disaster happens or something's going down in the area. Yeah. Social unrest, things like that. So, but minimal living is, for me, the way to go. And there's a huge movement of people that want to live a minimal life. And so living in their car or living in their van is one way that they can do it. My theory is the more closets and drawers and cupboards you have, the more things you own, because you will end up filling them up. When you move into a new place, if it's bigger than what you had before, you'll find things to fill them up with. But if you're living in a vehicle, you can't do that. Okay, number 2 is financial reasons. There are people who do not have enough money for rent. And that seems to be another growing movement. You don't have enough money for your rent, or you do have money for your rent, but you're tired of giving it all for the rent. That's a biggie. Yeah. It's a big deal. So, and there are a lot of seniors who don't have the ability to earn money anymore. It might be because, well, maybe they don't want to, but it might also be because they're disabled in some way. I'm trying to get comfortable. I'm not used to sitting on a bed. Here's a bed. It feels like a memory foam maybe. But there are people who don't have enough money at all, and they work and they don't have enough money for rent. Rents are going up, aren't they? Oh my gosh. $1,300, $2,000 for a 1-bedroom. In this nation, I don't know if you can find anything for less than $700, and it's probably really small. I know. You know what I like to see sometimes in those New York City apartments? It's like this big, and it's your apartment, and it's for $2,000. Yeah. So, yeah, it's getting bad. But for financial reasons, somebody asked me why I became a nomad. What's my story? Well, I told this story quite a bit. Oh yeah, I told it a few times. This feels more comfortable. I don't know why it's weird sitting here. So anyways, I became a nomad. I always wanted to do this. I knew I wanted to do it. I was watching a lot of videos years before, and I knew that I knew what I wanted. I wanted a minivan, and I knew after watching van tours, I did not want a build out. There was no way. I wanted to have open space inside my minivan, and I still do. It's just the open area. That would drive me insane to have this build out of a bed frame. I like to sit on the floor. Maybe that's why it's uncomfortable on a bed. I like to sit. That's why. Oh my. This is actually, okay, it's like I'm sitting here and it's going down. It's hurting my back. Dude, let's see. Okay, let's get comfy here. Okay. Maybe. I'll try this for a minute. I'm serious. This is uncomfortable for me. I'm used to sitting on a hard surface. This actually is hurting my back. Am I going to sleep here? I don't know. My van's right out there. This is one of those you pull right into it. This is like a hippie town here. I think there are people who actually live here, or the long term. I don't know if the state's maybe helping them live here. I don't know what the deal is, but it looks like people are living here. But I'll tell you, this is a nice place. It's a little bit hippie-ish. I keep saying that. I'm in hippie town. Okay, so financial reasons. Yeah. So I knew I wanted to do this. And the situation arose where I didn't want to pay rent anymore. I didn't want to stay where I was. My daughter used to live beside me, right? And right beside me, and they moved to Cincinnati, Ohio. And my granddaughter moved there, and it was really sad. The house I lived in, we lived in there almost, I was 14, my daughter was like 13 years. So we lived right beside each other for a very long time. Well, they moved, and these other people moved in, and it was, I don't know, I was uncomfortable with it. I didn't really like it. So I thought, this is it. And I just, on a whim, I gave my notice, and I thought, if I don't, if I don't find a minivan, I'm just going to live in my car till I find one. I really was. It's like, I want to get going. I want to get going. So I was going to live in my car. Well, as it turned out, I found a minivan for $3,800, and it was immediate. It was immediate. I started inviting people in. What do you want to take? I need to get rid of things. Started throwing things out. I gave it away, or I threw it away. That's the truth. And I knocked myself down. I did have a little storage for a moment. And while I was still in Tucson, I stayed in Tucson. After I moved into my minivan, I stayed there 2 months. Because I had a business going, and I didn't want my clients, I didn't want to leave them high and dry. I wanted to stay until they could find somebody to replace me. So that's what happened. And I went right to Cincinnati, and then came back here, and I've been traveling ever since. So why did I do it? Well, yeah, for financial reasons, sort of, because I didn't want to pay rent anymore. I thought, I am tired of giving people my money like that when I can live almost dirt cheap living in a minivan. And I knew that it was so possible because I used to watch your videos. So that's my quick story. Yeah, it's my short story. Well, there are a lot of people that are doing it for financial reasons. Even if they have the money, they just don't want to keep giving it for the rent. Number 3, adventure. They want to go on an adventure. And that was sort of me. I was a little bit cross between financial and adventure. Okay. So if you want to do it for adventure, you want to do it because you want to go find your tribe. You don't feel comfortable just sitting in a house. A lot of people don't know their neighbors anymore anyways. Some do. Some live in really nice neighborhoods, and they know their neighbors, and they might have street parties. They block off the streets, or, they have a neighborhood association. Yeah. Well, sometimes people don't go for that. They want to go out and find their tribe. Or they want to go see the country. They want to get out there, and they want to have some adventure going on. They want to go see what's out there and just be free. Just be free with adventure. That was kind of me. I wanted to enjoy the adventure of it. And it's not even so much the traveling. I want to go see the country. I want to go here and I want to go there. It wasn't too much of that, although it was there. I wanted to just be free to, in my area, whatever area I chose, I wanted to move freely in that area. I just really thought that living in a minivan would be a lot of fun. I really did. I have mentioned this, and I haven't mentioned it in a while. I'm more of a clubhouse kind of girl. When I was younger with my girlfriend, my neighbor, we were like this. We were always making tents, or we were making clubhouses, or they were little areas. Remember when your mom put a blanket over the card table or your family eating table, dinner table? You can make a little house in there, and I just loved it. That was something that I would do as a child all the time, and make a little home in there. And so this is just up my alley. I think I'm just I still have a lot of child in me, and I like to pretend, and I like to, good imagination, yeah. And as it turns out, that's a good thing to have, because you can, like I said, get rid of your past and create your future. If you have a good imagination and you have faith that you can decide what you want and then have faith to have it and use your imagination, wow, you can go far. Yeah. And yeah, I need imagination for filming too. So yeah, artists usually have large imaginations and they use them often. Escape. Number 4, people will start living in their vehicle because they need to escape something. They might be in an abusive relationship and they need to escape. Yeah. Or maybe they are the abuser and they need to escape. Could be running from the law. They need to escape. They need to get away, and they make a plan to get in their vehicle and go. And once they're far away, then they can start organizing their vehicle to live in it. Yes, a lot of people use it for escape. There's a lot of people I've met, in quartzsite, that you really, when you're in quartzsite, you really do need to be careful. When it comes to filming, you need to ask, because they might be running from something and they don't want to be on YouTube, right? Because that would be the place for an abuser to actually look for their victims. Well, where are they, right? And if you're running from the law, yeah, you don't want to be taking their pictures, right? You don't want to be filming them. So yeah, it's a good idea to ask. Now, they might be trying to escape from themselves. They think that by taking off, that they can get away from themselves. That's usually not true. Wherever you are, there you are. Wherever you go, there you are. It's hard to escape yourself. It's always a good idea to be comfortable in your own skin, in your own body, and be comfortable with your own thoughts. Be comfortable to be alone, because once you are a nomad, you're going to spend a lot of time alone, especially in the beginning. Yeah. Well, even with me, I have a lot of close friends out there, but they're not around me now. I'm solo right now, and I enjoy it. I enjoy being alone. I really do. One thing is they might want to be escaping from is society itself and other people. If they're really introverted, they want to be alone and they enjoy being alone. I don't think it's a good idea to be alone all the time, but this is one of the reasons. Escaping from abuse, the law, or themselves, or society itself. They want to be free. How many people say, oh, I hate people. I love dogs, but I don't like people. Okay, number 5. A lot of times people will move into their vehicle and live in it to test themselves. They have no intention of doing it like on a full-time basis forever. Might be younger people that might want to do this route and this plan, but they want to test themselves. They want to see if they can live minimally. They want to see how low and what little they can survive on. They want to test their courage and their bravery, if they can do it. Sometimes you hear of people that in order to get over a phobia, their counselor will tell them to go do it. They say, go do something brave. If you feel fear, go do something. Well, this would be on that line. I haven't met too many people like that. I've met about 2 of them who this is why they wanted to do this. They wanted to test out that they could be brave enough to go sleep in a parking lot, sleep at a rest stop, go out boondocking alone. They want to test their bravery. They want to see what they're made of. Yeah, they want to see how far that their will take them. So those are the 5 reasons that I feel are the top reasons why people would move into their vehicles. Now, let's add on number 6. One reason you may have to move into your vehicle is if the shit hits the fan, that you're going to have to throw some objects inside your vehicle, throw your family in there, and get out of Dodge because social unrest, something's going down, something like that. The dollar completely collapses, society collapses. Yeah, there's number 6. But I think that hasn't happened, so I didn't want to include that. But, that could be a reason down the road where somebody would want to do that. So those are my 5 reasons. Yeah. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it made sense. And then when you're out and about or you go to Quartzsite and you start meeting people, you can decide, well, why would this person have done that? What would be their reason? And you can even ask them and you can get to know other people like, well, why did you? Those would be questions I would always ask. Why did you do this? What prompted you to move into your vehicle? Your minivan. A lot of people are in their minivans. For me, the minivan is the perfect. Probably for my size. I'm 5'3", so it's perfect for me. I know some people, they're taller, and they say they do fine in it, but I think sometimes eventually they move into a larger vehicle. So I'm going to end this right now, and I'm going to say goodbye. I love you. Please subscribe. It really does help. And give me a thumbs up. And I've got neck gaiters and I've got exercise videos on minivanlee.com or minivan-lee.com. Yeah. But I also have the sunglasses. And I've only got a few left. You go ahead and go look at them and decide if that's something you want to do. I've had a lot of people ask about them and say, where do I find sunglasses like you wear? Well, I brought them to you and I will send them to you. So go on minivanlee.com. I do have a few shemagh and I'll be doing some photography for those and I'll let you know. Some of you asked about them. They're perfect for Quartzsite or being boondocking because it does get windy in the desert and you want to protect your hair. It can strip your hair just horribly. And the way I'll show you how to put on a shemagh, and the one side you can bring over and tuck it, that protects your face because you want to protect your face when you're in the desert in the wind because that sand will just tear your face up and your hair. So guys and gals, yeah. Okay, I love you. Bye. See you tomorrow.